Assalamu alaikum. I welcome all of you to the lecture on basic concepts of chemistry. Today we will be discussing chemical bond and that how a chemical bond is formed. So our today's discussion will be mainly focused on the chemical bond formation, and after this we will be studying hybridization. So without wasting time, let's go to the chemical bond. So actually what a chemical bond is, that will be our main focus, as we will be discussing some a covalent bond, and in most cases and in most books you people might have studied the chemical bond, and I am repeating the same thing but a little bit in a little bit different way, which will because I have tried my best to convey the message or to make you understand. So let's start from the very simplest of them. The hydrogen molecule H2, that how a chemical bond between hydrogen and hydrogen is produced. Hydrogen and hydrogen, this is hydrogen molecule, and again this is hydrogen molecule, and this bond is a covalent bond. It is covalently bonded with the one hydrogen atom is covalently bonded with the other hydrogen atom. So let's see what hydrogen has. Two hydrogen atom, let's take two hydrogen atom. This is one hydrogen atom and this is other hydrogen atom. One as you know that from the electronic configuration of hydrogen, that hydrogen has one positive charge in it, or one proton in it, and has one electron in it. The electron is present in the 1s orbital. This black dot is an electron, and again I have tried it, another molecule, because we want to join them, that how they form a chemical bond. This is again a positive plus, and this circle, this is the K shell. This blue one is a K shell, this blue one is a K shell, and they have hydrogen, and somehow they attach together and produced a hydrogen bond. Okay, this will be the basic. This will be the main goal of today's video, that how a hydrogen bond is formed, and we need to focus on it a little bit. We need to go into its insight, or to study the detail that how a covalent bond is formed between two hydrogen atoms. Okay. Now there are many things, and we have studied them all, almost you have studied them, that as you know that an electron is negatively charged. I am writing a negative charge on it. Proton, inside every nucleus there are protons and also neutrons. So in basic hydrogen atom, it has just one proton present, and proton is said to have a positive charge. Proton, it is a positive charge. Okay. So there is one thing, that this is extremely basic model. Again, this is electron, this is electron. Inside the nucleus there are two protons, and both the protons are positive charge, positively charged. Now as we know that like charges, they repel each other. The like charges repel each other, just like this is electron and this is another electron. Both of them will repel each other. So how they repel to each other, so I have to draw some lines which will be drawing for repulsion. Okay, so both of them are repelling each other, so I am writing this line that they are repelling each other. Okay, hydrogen, because both the electrons, because both are negative charged, and when two same charges come into place, they repel each other. Same is the case with those protons. Proton and protons, again protons, this proton and the other proton and the protons are also positive charge. If you place them in a small space, again they will start repelling each other. Okay, because proton is +1 positive charge and this is positive, so positive things repel each other. Here electron is a negative thing and the other electron is a negative thing, and when you bring them together, what will happen? They will repel each other. Okay, so if the electron repel electron, the proton repel the proton, why a bond is formed then? Then this business is not good, because we have studied that the hydrogen atom, a hydrogen molecule can be produced by sharing of two electrons between them. So to explain this thing, I need to give some examples and some analogies. Okay, as you know that this electron and this electron, they will repel each other. Okay, now what about those protons? When those atoms come near each other, they will start repelling each other. Those protons, they will also repel each other. And there is one thing, for formation of bonds, both the atom need to come to at least to the bonding distance to produce or form a bond. But as these atoms come together, what we think, electrons should repel each other and the proton should repel the other proton. The proton of one nucleus should repel the proton of the other, and electron of one atom shell should repel this electron. So this thing is so much hard, and it's really very complicated. It seems very complicated that even the simplest molecule, which is the hydrogen molecule, its formation, how it is formed. Okay, so let me give you some examples or analogies that you will understand that those two repulsion, that how they come close together and form a bond and become stabilized. Okay, so these are the atoms. Let me move to this side of the boat. Okay, just for example, as you know, magnet, you may have used some magnet, and you know that one side of, if you have two magnets, one side of them, when they are in one direction, they attract each other, and in another direction, suppose in this direction, they repel each other. So just like this is a magnet, bar magnet. Okay, it has a north pole and it has a south pole as well. Now again, north and south, what will happen? Suppose these cores, they are, let me bring some black marker. Okay, suppose this thing is the north and that is the south. This is the north of black one and this is south. So when you bring the magnets together, north to north, they repel each other. You need quite a force in order to connect them, and they will repel each other. Okay, so now, but another thing is there, that the north of one magnet attracts the south of another magnet. Now those things are happy. So you may be thinking that what I am doing, why I am using these examples. So just in a minute it will be clear to you, because this is a very short video, and you will learn from it. Now how can we connect those atoms, those things together? They both repel each other. It's like the nuclei and the electrons repel each other, okay? How is it possible? How in the world is this thing possible? Okay, suppose you have some sort of iron bar. Let me draw it with some other marker. This is an iron bar. I-R-O-N, iron. Okay, and you may have experienced that the iron, if you have a magnet and it has north pole here and south pole here, this iron attracts the magnet towards itself, okay? Now if you have this the same iron, and if you have another iron magnet which has south and north here, okay, again in the second case, in this case again the iron attracts. So the iron doesn't differentiate between the positive north and the south pole. It attracts both poles, okay? If you have this magnet, as I told you, this is the north and this is iron, okay? It will attract it, okay? If you invert the magnet, this is now the south, again it will be attracted. So it is going to be very helpful for us to understand the chemical bonding and how that. Let's see. Now what about two things? Suppose if you have one magnet and you keep it like this, this is the north, this is the south, what will happen? When it is connected near the iron will attract it, okay? So you have iron, this red thing is iron bar, and now the magnet is connected to it, attracted to it, and finally connected to it. What about another magnet? If it has north, again pointing towards what? This iron, and this is the south. What will happen when you leave? When you bring the magnet very near to the iron, and now it can influence the magnet, so it will attract the magnet. North, south. Wow, you have connected two magnets together. Now what thing is common? Actually this magnet doesn't like this north, doesn't like this north, because both of them should repel each other, and that's what we know. But this north pole or this magnet north like to be attached to the iron, because they want to attach to the iron, okay? Because as you know that iron is blind, it can attract both the north and the south, okay? So it is attracting the north, but the iron have some diameter, it's a little bit bigger block, okay? I will see you in a moment. And this magnet is attached to the iron too. Now as you see that both the magnets which were repelling each other now are connected through a metal, okay? Inside the metal or an iron. So both are connected, but these are not bonds, these are magnets, this is iron. So how I can relate this example to the chemical bonding you will see in just a minute. Okay, now again, as you know that these are, what are these? My duster, poor duster. Okay, this is positive, this is positive. Let's assume for a moment that you have these positive ions, I mean the nucleus or the protons of one and the other, okay, and suddenly the electron disappear from here, from these things, okay, and they are a little bit further away from each other, or they just repel each other very slightly, not with a big force, they are not near each other, and suddenly its electron and it's suddenly both the electron come and sit here, okay. But as you know that the electrons are not stationary, they are moving with an extremely they are moving extremely fast, so they just creates a cloud, okay. But one thing is should be in your mind that both the electron also repel each other. Suppose here one electron is here, but the electron may not be here. I just told you that the you just bring the electron in between those two atoms. So what? Still we don't know, but as you know that the electron is in a constant oscillation motion. Oscillation, or its oscillation mean it's moving very fast. It is moving so fast that it just seems like a cloud, because atom is so tiny and the electron is so fast, so it will be like a cloud, okay. So what these electrons, one electron is suppose blue and the other is, I should write it black, okay. Now let's discuss the blue one first. Let me delete this. How will this blue electron like? This, because this will be moving very fast in between those atoms. This is a little bit analogous to the atom, okay. And what about the other electron, black one? Let me write it with red, so it will be good, okay. So it is moving again here. So what's happening? You might be seeing that this is electron cloud and this is electron cloud. Still I will tell you, let's suppose we might be thinking that the electrons should repel each other. Let's say for this time, for a time being, they are not repelling each other. I will say that how they will not repel each other. It's moving. Now you know that this positive charge or proton, it will be attracted toward the electrons. Both electron has made a cloud, okay, and this will be attracted to the cloud. This will be attracted to the cloud. So actually both the positive protons, they like the electron cloud, they want that to be attached or very much near to the electron cloud. We say attached or connected, okay. Both of them are connected, or suddenly a bond is formed. As you see, this is just like a bond, okay. But now the main question arises that electron and electron repel each other. Wow, so this is very bad thing. So as there is one word in quantum mechanics, or in physics, you just don't bother about that. It's called correlation, okay. Correlation. Suppose this electron is moving like this, okay, and the other electron is coming here. These electrons just quickly change their direction. One just moves a little bit up and the other down, so they don't repel each other. Again, when they are coming, again they do this. If they are moving in the same direction also, okay, so they correlate each other. So they try, these electrons try to avoid bumping or collision with each other. So both these electrons also avoid each other, because they don't come very much near each other, so they should repel. Okay, and they are moving. Suppose I have drawn this like this, but actually when the red one is moving here, it can come here and the blue can come here, and just an electron cloud is formed. So that's how the hydrogen bonding, the bond between two hydrogen atom is formed, or a hydrogen molecule is produced. Okay, so let me now let's move to some other thing. This thing in another way. What actually happens? Black. That this is a proton, one proton, and this is another proton, and both the electrons, where are they? They are in the 1s orbital. Okay, it has electron, as I showed you, that were in the 1s orbital. Okay, but now what happens? The orbital distort itself. What is distortion? Distortion means that it little bit changes its shape. Okay, but now it is the real model. Okay, so suppose these distort itself like this. Now its electron is moving in between those things. Okay, now because as orbital is a place where electrons are found. Okay, for this course it is very much enough that orbital is a place where electron is found, mostly present. Okay, so the electron is moving here. Now what about this? This will become this will form a cloud. Okay, now this thing, let me write it with the red one again. Sorry, it form this thing, and electron is moving here, but again it's quite difficult, or again we will be thinking that these electrons should repel these things. Okay, but this doesn't happen, as those orbitals are distorted mean D-shaped or out of shaped or egg-like shape, or they just extends in between or extend inward. What happens? They become one orbital. Both of them becomes single bonding orbital. This is called as a bonding orbital. Okay, now the electron adjust them, both the electron are adjusted inside it. Okay, so this is the electron cloud present. Now I am writing both electron with one color. As you know that correlation will occur, and both the electron will not come into vicinity of each other in order to bump with each other. Okay, this is hydrogen molecule. Okay, so what happens? This is our hydrogen molecule. The red one should be changed with the blue one or anything. Actually, now you might have heard that in covalent bonds, what is the electron density is present between two atoms. Now what are the atoms here? Those are the hydrogens. Okay, so these are the protons, nucleus, and it seems like the electron is revolving. Both electrons are revolving around both the nuclei, but here they come and just very fastly move, but in the middle it is like this, and even at large contours when you see it, so it can be blue. I am little bit exaggerating this thing. So the cloud is like this. Now, what happens is, I am again just repeating the statement. Just like those north poles, they don't like the other north poles. Just like these things those proton doesn't want those proton because they repel each other. But now inside those atoms, something which is liked by both the proton comes. Okay, How it comes, I little bit explain it, that the orbital extends inward. Inward means that toward insides, and they collapse into a single orbital. Now both the electrons are moving and they have formed a cloud. But when a cloud is formed, this proton is much more attracted to the cloud, and the cloud is attracted to this electron, and again this electron is attracted to this. So as you see that a mutual understanding is produced, and this atom or this proton is not attached to this proton, but this proton is attached to those electrons are also attached to this proton is attached to these protons, and this proton is attached to this electron. Okay, this is stick together, or they want to be near this proton want to be near to this, and as a result both the nuclei attract each other, or both the nuclei are fixed in a position which is called as a covalent bond. So in reality this doesn't like this. First, what was there in each atom? Let me just wind it. This is a hydrogen atom, and the electron was revolving around it. In the other hydrogen atom, the same was, the electron was revolving it. So, but now two electrons, they are revolving around two nuclei, so they are more stabilized. The electrons are more stabilized. Actually, I will discuss those things in a little bit advanced course, as I told you. But for this basic course, it is enough, and it is very much okay. I think that this is the structure of this is a covalent bond between hydrogen molecules, and in majority of the cases the covalent bonds are formed like this. Okay, and you will see it in the advanced courses, but as the scope of this course is not in going into the details of those things. So thank you very much.